The bank finally said yes. Now what? More access to capital doesn't automatically mean more clarity. Welcome to Your Weekly Ally, a weekly newsletter where we dive deep into the strategies, stories, and game-changing insights that help you navigate business challenges and unlock your organization's true potential for growth. When you finally get that yes from the bank after months of paperwork, financial statements, and follow-up calls, it doesn't feel like a formality. It feels like relief. I remember getting approved for a $250,000 expansion loan years ago and finding out the bank was actually willing to extend more than I had asked for. For a moment, I wanted to take all of it. If the bank believed I could handle more, why shouldn't I? I took the amount I had actually planned for instead. That gap between what a lender is willing to offer and what your business actually needs is where more owners get into trouble than at almost any other point in the financing process. This month, that gap just got a lot wider for a lot of businesses. This isn't the first time. Back in May, we talked about Anthropic's small business AI push and made the point that access was never really the barrier. The tools were sitting right there. What most founders lacked was the internal capacity to actually put them to work. Capital works the same way, except getting there usually costs more than a sign-up. Most owners fight for approval for months before a lender finally says yes. And once that fight is over, the number they're approved for can be more tempting than the number they actually need. On July 4th, the SBA doubled its combined lending ceiling for the 7A and 504 programs to $10 million, the largest financing expansion in the agency's history. A real sign that capital is flowing more freely across small business lending right now, even if your own approval looks nothing like that number. But more capital flowing through the system does not change what happens the moment it lands in your account. The plan still has to come from you. The fight doesn't end at approval. Here's what nobody tells you when a lender approves you for more than you expected. The size of the offer does not tell you anything about whether you're ready to spend it well. I've watched this pattern before. An owner gets approved for more than expected, and the relief of finally getting a yes turns into excitement before the plan catches up. The extra money goes toward a second location, a hiring wave, or a larger inventory order based on demand that hasn't been validated yet. Within months, the loan payment becomes a fixed cost on top of a bet that hasn't proven out. The owner ends up managing the loan instead of the business. That outcome isn't a reason to say no to a good offer. It's a reason to decide what you actually need before you sit down at the table, so the number on the approval letter doesn't become the plan by default. The quiet tell in the hiring data. Here's the part that makes me pause. In the same month, lenders got more generous, small business hiring got more cautious. June small business employment dipped, even as revenue ticked up. Most owners already apply a discipline here without thinking of it as one. A new hire is a fixed cost. Once someone starts, payroll doesn't flex down the moment things slow. So most owners wait until the workload or revenue is real before adding it. A loan works the same way. Debt service doesn't care whether the expansion it funded performed. It's a fixed cost the moment you sign, just like payroll is the moment someone starts. The owners already careful about headcount know this. The next step is applying that same standard to the financing decision. Before you sign, if this financing window is real for your business, ask yourself 3 questions before you sign anything. 1. What specific asset or project does this money fund? Not generally, but by name. 2. What is your utilization plan for the first 12 months? 3. And what does your business look like if revenue softens while you are still carrying this debt? That last one matters more than it sounds. You are not just borrowing against today's numbers. You are borrowing into whatever the next few quarters bring. And that debt sits alongside every other financial commitment you are already carrying, not apart from it. Tactical note: Friday's Substack is a step-by-step guide to actually applying for this financing. Which program funds what, where to find the right lender, and what to have in place before you start the conversation. The link is in the text version of this newsletter. The bottom line, more access to capital is a genuine opportunity, and I do not want to talk anyone out of using it well. But the door being open was never the hard part. The hard part is knowing exactly what you are walking through it to build. Answer that first, and the financing becomes the accelerant it was always meant to be, not a burden you spend years managing. New here? Welcome to your weekly ally. Subscribe to join entrepreneurs building what matters. Discussion. If your business qualified for the new SBA financing ceiling tomorrow, would you actually have a plan for it? Hit reply and let us know. We read every comment. Your weekly ally team